We'll go ahead and get started. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our Saturday morning A-team call. Two in a row. This is our second one for the year, and excited to have Lana on again. I know some of you were on last week, learning from Lana about social media and Facebook and some things that she is doing currently that's working. So I wanted her to share some more this week. Some of the same stuff she did last week, except she's going to go more into, I think she's going to go more into detail, like what she's actually talking to people about. And she did a little call for a few people a few days ago, and it was really good and had a lot of great comments on that. And people are starting to use Facebook in the way that she's using it. I've already heard of people having success. So that's great. Lana, so thanks for being on again. And I'll go ahead and give it to you.
All right. Good morning, you guys. Lana Batashev here, Global Director with Optavia, and just really excited to share more with you guys on what's working for me. I don't have slides this morning because I wanted part of this to show you a few things and also have a discussion, because I feel like last Saturday we just didn't quite get into some of the content I wanted to. Now there's two things we're going to focus on today. The first one is groups and how to shop for groups. I think I love shopping, so I don't have to spend anything. I can just go shop for the things that I want. And the reason why I like to use shopping for content, shopping for people, shopping for groups, you know, because you go to the stores you want and you look for the quality items you want, and it's kind of like my eye just works that way. I love luxury at bargain prices. So I feel like Facebook land is literally, you can have luxury at bargain prices if you know what to look for. But there's also, you know, the Walmart level where, you know, everything's really cheap and it can break and you can spend all your money. And that's just like an idea of, you know, you go to social media and waste hours and hours and hours at the all-carb buffet. Like, go for the steak. So this is what I'm going to teach you today, is how you go for the protein on social media and really get really good at using social media effectively in a timely manner. So I think that's a really, really important to actually compress time for yourself so you're not there all day, and also kind of be driven with an outcome. You're building relationships, but you also are there for your business. So how to balance the two. So first thing I wanted to talk about today is Messenger. Last week, we really hit it hard with stories, why they're important. And they're really important is because, you know, that's the new game. And if you want to play with Instagram and Facebook, what I love about stories is you can create stories on your Instagram stories and send them right to your Facebook, and you get to play with both, and you get to see who have seen your stories on both ends. So if you want to leverage your times, if you feel like you're a little bit more advanced, if Instagram gives you anxiety, forget what I said, okay? And one comment I also want to make also is I remember just 2 years ago when I think of Facebook and working it strategically, other just randomly thrown content, it would give me overwhelming anxiety, and I would just shut down. So I would encourage you to, you know, what really helped me overcome that is just to have this energy of fun and play and creativity. Like, I don't know anything about it. I'm not really necessarily attached to an outcome, like it has to bring me a client today, but I'm just going to be open and curious and play with it. And I think that's a really, really, really important component of this, is the mental game, that I'm just going to master this, like a kid who gets a new fancy toy and they're just playing with it on Christmas morning. Just because they don't know how to use all the buttons doesn't mean they're going to take that thing and throw it against the wall, unless your kid has some other issues, right? But you're going to just tinker with it and play with it until it works. So really encourage you to bring that spirit into the space, instead of already being like, Facebook just doesn't work, I don't have the time, or just whatever concepts you have, okay? So we're gonna go, first thing we're gonna do Facebook Messenger, and then we're gonna go into Facebook Lives, and then we're gonna talk about how do you really use this to grow your clients. And this is gonna be so wildly effective for you guys. I'm just really excited that you're taking the time to get on and really learn this. So Brian, what are some ways, do you actually want me to go in and do some messages like we did in and how to, I want to talk about how to find groups. I can actually show you. Let's do that. I'm actually going to share my screen and
in fact, Lana, I just want to say, you said something at the beginning of this that I love. Are you shopping at Walmart? Are you shopping for the best, at bargain prices? And I can tell you for a fact that I've shopped at Walmart many times on Facebook. So there you go.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, and I'll actually teach you how to develop a taste.
All right, go ahead and do that.
Yes, okay.
That'd be great.
So first thing I think is really important is we talked about clearing the field, unfollow anything that doesn't support you, any groups that don't support you, any people that don't support you, and I encourage you to clear out your coaches and clients. Sometimes that's hard for me to do also because it's natural to interact, but sometimes when I notice things kind of get plugged up, I'll go through and actually unfollow some coaches and some clients because that actually makes my message not be available to others. So if you have, yes.
Lana, real quick, we had some questions already in the chat, but I want to put the questions at the end, right? So we'll go ahead and do that.
I want to follow the content. I don't want to get lost. I'm learning to have communicate and teach this, and I feel like we're just going to be jumping around and no one's going to get value. And at the end, I promise to leave some.
I agree. So we'll go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead at the end. Okay.
Yeah. So there's 3 things on Facebook that are working right now. Interaction in Facebook groups. Facebook wants that, the interaction between people within groups. Facebook Lives, especially wants people to tune into and really listen to. It loves that. It gives you a boost. And Messenger. So Facebook is trying to, they've been really going down. They're losing a lot of people are just checking out from Facebook, and that's why they're doing these shifts. So maybe that's why some of the things you were doing before just weren't quite working. So this is going to really help you. So how I like to find groups on Facebook, actually, and why it's important is because this is where you're going to shop for quality people, okay, that you really resonate and connect with. I don't want to be talking to a bunch of car mechanics on social media because I don't know squat about cars. I just know I like Teslas and I'm working on one. Lee told me I can have one soon. Everything else, I don't care. As long as it looks pretty and it smells good, I'm good. I don't want to be talking to a bunch of car people. I'm not going to go into a car group. But if you're a guy and you love cars, maybe you should go into a car group. So find 5 things you love, or maybe hobbies or sports or interests. What I'm going to do is, these are actually, firstly, it's going to suggest friends groups that they're in. So there's a boating group with 24,000 members that is local to me. I'm not a boater, but if I wanted a boat, and if I was already a boater, I'd be in this community because guess what? They probably have money. They love leisure. And it just seems like a fun thing. I want to connect with these types of people. So you guys see this is not random. Real estate connection. I love real estate agents. They seem to always want to network. They're not scared of social media, and they're fun to connect with because they're more likely to share, and they need to look good, and they usually know thousands of people. So real estate agents are just like one of my favorites, okay? And I'm not just thinking for them as a client, though that's great. I'm thinking, how can I connect to their world? How can maybe I have them share my content or my lives with their world? Basically, they're door openers into a much bigger sphere of influence, okay? So real estate could be one I could join. Lee has a few of these groups he's part of. But I wouldn't do real estate. I already know a bunch of agents. I'm good. If I'm gonna do a group and actually participate, I'm actually gonna, pick a makeup group maybe, or I love mom groups. I love healthy recipe groups. So if you just search and go in, and there you go. So you have all these pages. First of all, it's going to enrich your life. It's going to give you ideas for healthy meals. And in there, like the low sodium foods and healthy recipes, these people probably care. They probably have health conditions and heart disease. And it's a great place to network. And it's 24,000 people. So it's just a big area you can shop from. Okay. So I wouldn't be part of 1,000 groups because your news feed is then it's just going to be groups. pick 5 groups and really work them. And then if they don't work for you, then leave the group and find a different group. There's thousands of groups, so nothing to worry about. Now, how do I use the group? If you want to add content to the group, feel free. I just don't have a whole lot of time to add content in the group. I'm there to shop for content for my feed, and I'm there to look for interesting people. So let me go, let me actually go find a group that I usually like to shop from. This is an interesting one because this group has, it's like Dr. Laura. I'm not the hugest fan of hers. I think she's a little nutty, but sometimes she has interesting content. Now, her tribe is like extremely loyal to each other, and I've had more clients from this group than any group I've had. And these people are really opinionated, and when you're in, you're in. So I would actually like look at some of the stuff. Like this one, I'm so happy to have Dr. Laura fans in my feed. I look at my Facebook daily and look for guidance, and you're the ones that I click on with the most. Thank you. Wow, interesting. So Josie sounds like a grateful person. She adds value. She sounds kind of cool. I'm actually gonna like that post, and I'm gonna go in there. And I don't know if she accepts any friend requests. I'm right now, I'm in Facebook jail, you guys, so I can't send her a message, but she sounds nice. Just say, I loved your comment about Dr. Laura fans. Okay, so this is just funny because it's just no big deal. If there was a friend request button turned on, and right now I'm in Facebook jail because I think I sent too many, or I don't know, I think I've invited too many people to a boot camp we're doing, and it kind of shut me down. But this is a way to build a relationship. And she accepts and messages me back. I've gotten more clients out of this group than any weight loss group or recipe group. Okay, but sometimes they have really good parenting articles. So I'll once a week, I'll go in there and just play in it and see what's up. Okay, so this is how you shop for quality groups. I would suggest find like a parenting, like if you're a mom, parenting group is good, mom groups. I don't like buy and sell groups too much because they're just too busy and it's too transactional. If there's an author you like, they probably have a page they run. So I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. My husband makes fun of me because he's such a guy's guy, but I think he's really smart. So I'm in his community, and his community is actually really cool. So, you know, I've been interacting with some of those people. But this is how you build relationships and use groups. And then when you see the content from those groups, because you're already interested, it doesn't bother you. It's not just a bunch of useless random stuff. You see actually articles that add value. So this is why it's really important to be strategic with the groups that you're in. Now, another way to use groups is actually a little group I just started, is to start your own. So I made this a public group. It's tiny. The name is Unapologetically Ambitious because, you know, I want all the good things in my life, and I'm tired of apologizing for it. A lot of people have a lack mindset. And so I wanted to create a group where you can just be okay to want the good things in your life, just like all the Optavia things. But I made it a non-coach group. I haven't even told my coaches about this group because I want new people to join, and I want to actually, I have like 1 or 2 requests to join the group every day, and I ask them what they're in the group for. What are they trying to create in their life? So there's questions you can set up to have these people answer so you know who's joining, and you don't have to approve anyone weird. But I'm in the background building this community because I'm going to interact them. I'm going to also friend them, and I'm going to see if I can actually build some amazing relationships. But in that group, I'll go in very occasionally and make a live or share some content I like that maybe I just wouldn't put up on my wall. Now, if this is too advanced to run another group, it's very busy, it's a commitment to run a group. Don't start a group if you're not gonna actually build it. I would say work the groups that are already there. I just want a very specific group for my girls that I can just be like, I like nice things and it's okay, and you guys are not gonna kill me because, you know, I want nice skin and a big body. And Don't make fun of me for this, but you know, I'm kind of like a superficial girl. Like I like the deep things, but I actually like to feel good and look good, and that's okay. So that's the community I want to build, okay? So, you know, you can decide what it is for you. I also have some like faith groups I'm part of. You know, find one that you resonate with and be in it, because you'll actually enjoy being in it, and there'll be resonance with the people who are also in there, because it's like-minded people. So very, very important. So I think this makes sense. One other point I want to make about groups, and I think why it's just, they're so awesome. You know, I just know before I started Facebook, I still have a bunch of clients who are not on Facebook. And these people, to get them to share a story, to get them to do a shout out, it's like trying to pull their teeth out. It's impossible. But when you find people online, they're already online. They don't mind sharing. And they actually connect with you. They meet you, they see you online, and they resonate. They love you. You'll have like 2, 3, 4, 5-year clients, just even if they never become a coach, because they accepted you and they became your client because they like what you're about. And I think that's just so important, that when you're trying to take people offline and trying to get them to be online, it's so much work. When you never met them in person, you met them online, you did a health assessment via Zoom or Messenger, they feel like they know you, they're a million miles away, and you don't have to ask them to go online to give you a shout out. They totally will, because online is their world. It's not a problem. So does that make sense? So this can really accelerate. When I want to boost my client base, I'll ask some of my online clients for like a little wellness credit, and I know this has been covered many times. They'll go out and do a shout out and share the world. It's not a big deal for them. This is taking an offline person who's never interacting on social media and trying to get them to do something. It's like just, it makes my brain hurt. It's a lot of work. This is really easy to grow and expand. Okay, so that's groups. Let's talk about Facebook Live. So I've actually done one yesterday. I've actually done one last Saturday. So let me actually pull that one up, because it was shared like 5 times. And every day I look at it, there's like more and more views, because people have shared it on their walls. And so there's almost 700 views, but people really liked it. So when you do a Facebook Live, I think it's important to make sure your face is very visible. You're not in a dark space. Put a really interesting topic, maybe some emojis, but give them an idea of why they should watch this. My recommendation is no less than 3 minutes, and probably no longer than 7, 8, just like a run-of-the-mill little tips and tricks, because otherwise, one of my coaches says it's too much of a commitment, okay, to watch, and people won't start it. I'm hearing a lot of background noise. If you wanted to say something, go ahead, but otherwise, can you please mute? Okay, so with Facebook Lives, you could, I'm gonna share this to Story eventually too, and when I wanna work this post, I'm gonna message everyone who's viewed this live from my wall to Stories, and actually message, because there's 13 comments and 24 likes and loves, and I haven't had a chance to message these people because I've been working really hard on other things, but I'm gonna actually go through and work this post again. This is why I love doing them on your wall, because you can later share them in your groups. You can share it to your stories and actually message the people who have viewed that video, okay? Facebook loves video streaming, so it's the highest leverage activity you can do with your time, because it will live on your wall forever. People who go back to it later will actually get value, and it's one of the best ways to actually add value, I feel like, right now to the people in your world. So Facebook knows that. So that's, I think, one of the highest equity things you can do. If you don't have a whole lot of time, you know, do a live and then do your messages. But I also love the stories. Stories is where it's at. So with the live, if you want people to engage with your lives and listen to them, I think it's really important. Like, have you guys been on lives? And I actually have taken a communication course last year to really work on this, because I would like start and I just ramble and then get distracted. And I'm gonna give you guys some pointers. So have a really clear topic, okay? What you're gonna talk about. Before I go live, I'll go, what's my intro? 3 main thesis points I want to make, 3 to 5. What are the points you want to make? And then I have a conclusion or a call to action. My call to action always is, hey, feel free to share with your friends. If you have questions about this, comment below. Or if you got value, let me know what it is. Or if you have something else that you found works, please add it in the comments, because you want the people to feel like you've just had a conversation with them instead of just like bombarded some information, because this is interactive. Now, have you guys ever done lives and you go in live and everybody just, it takes them 10 minutes just to get started with their live. They're saying hi to everyone and doing all that stuff. Unless you're a major influencer and people are going to stick around and wait for you to talk for 10 minutes about nothing, my suggestion is, you know, have a consistent intro. For me, usually I wave my hand and say, hi, Lana Batashev here. This is what I want to talk to today. A, B, C, D, E, F. These are my points. This is my conclusion, and you're done and get off. If you have that 2 to 3 minute lag, I can't tell you the number of times that I really wanted to listen to someone's live, but because they just went on and on and on about saying hellos and just the weather, I just lost interest and I had to go. Okay, so I would just say, I mean, maybe you've heard other things, but based on personal experience, I like for people to just get in. They want to tell me what this is going to be about, give me the golden nuggets, and let's just wrap it up. Okay, so I don't like crazy lengthy 40-minute lives unless you're really going to power pack it with a lot of content. I'd rather have you break up your lives. I mean, it's different, I think, if you're in groups and doing a training, but if you're just doing fun, value-added things on your wall, make it just direct, to the point, know what you're talking about, don't ramble, wrap it up, say goodbye, and then be done, okay? And then, for sure, so I think this needs to be really said, and this is really important in the Facebook world right now as well. If someone leaves you a like or a comment, you better follow up with them. You better thank them. Respond to their post, okay? You know, say, hey, thank you for this comment, or what a great idea, or interact somehow. People take it really personally when they step into your world and they've added value, they commented, they thanked you, and you don't respond back. Once again, just remember the basic social graces. For me, when I stopped making social media as this abstract thing, but just kind of thought, if this person came up to me and said, wow, that was a great live, thank you, and I just turned around and walked off and didn't say anything, they'd just think, what an anus, you know, I shouldn't say that, but you know, that's what they think, you know. So be nice, respond to every like, respond to comments. That's just like the nice thing to do, to really make people feel like they're connected to you and feel like they're just a friend, okay? So really, really important to actually take the time to do that, okay? So you don't have to respond right away, but at some point you might want to, maybe later that day when there's 20 comments or something like that, you can go back and just, it could be even the same thing, or just thank you, or just little emoji, but do respond to all the comments, and I suggest just the likes too, because that can start a lot of conversations like this one. You know, all the likes, you bet I'm gonna message them because they liked it, they've heard the tips, and I can ask them, thanks for watching my live. I'm glad you liked it. What spoke to you the most, and what are some things that you're working on in your health right now? This is a great way to set up health assessments if you're ready to set some up, okay? So that's just the lives, okay? Any questions? I think, Brian, are we ready for questions, or is there more stuff you wanted me to cover?
No, this is great. When you were talking just a little bit ago about what you're actually saying to these people, you said something about a health assessment. What did you say again? You actually, I mean, you're just commenting on what they did, and then you're asking them a question.
Okay, so this is what I would do. So I don't usually do more than 3 exchanges back and forth without either offering coaching or offering a complimentary health assessment. Kind of like all roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to a conversation about Optavia, because remember we talked last week about that that's what we're there to do on social media. Otherwise, I'd be tickling my kids and playing Legos with them, okay? Or doing something else. And I certainly would.
So you're saying every three? You're saying so you won't go 3 conversations or 3
exchanges. So they'll say
3 exchanges.
yeah, so let me just give you an example. Like someone watched my live, right? And I could just say, hey, thanks for checking out my live. I love that you took a moment to like it. What spoke to you the most? And are you working on your health goals this year? And I'll just wait for them to respond. They'll say, yeah, I'm doing X, Y, Z. I love what you said about X, Y, Z. I'm like, oh, great. So how is your health journey going? Are you reaching the goals you've set out? Do you feel like you have a great plan? And they'll say, sometimes they'll say, yeah. I'm like, great. What are you doing? If it's like, and I'll say, you know what? I found this great program and I lost 35 pounds. I've kept it up for a long time. So grateful. Congratulations, and wrap it up. If it's just like they've got their own thing that's working. If they say, no, I've been working on the last 20 pounds the last year, I would just say, you know what? I find that most of my clients just need to create a few tweaks and have a structure to their plan. Would you like me to offer you a complimentary health assessment where in 20 minutes we can really find out what it is that you're doing, and whether you enroll for one of my plans or not, you'll still get tons of value. Would you like to set something up? And if they don't, then they're obviously not ready, so I'll move on. This is where my 3 exchanges, like, we're going to get into it. This is what I'm there to do. They know that that's what I'm there to do. I'm not there to just chat with them all day long. And if they're not ready, they're not ready. It's just like if you're farming the field and you're going out there and you want to see, let's just say you're looking for, see which fruit's ready to be picked. Because they're a green fruit, you're not going to get mad at them. You're just going to say, I'm going to move on, look at some more of my harvest and see what's ready to be picked, and let that one hang. If anything ever gets negative, this is just block, delete, no time for that. Okay, so keep your social media interactions really positive. You don't ever have to defend anything. If there's anything weird, I don't even put any energy into that, into defending, or if somebody gets like, go sideways on you. Okay. So
I like that. That's good. That's very good.
Okay. To the point. Okay, so I wanted to make a point about time. I think it's really, really important. And we actually, Jan Berg, one of my coaches, she just took everything I shared with our team and with you guys and created a worksheet. Brian, I can give it to you, but it literally shows what I do in the first 30 minutes, what I do in the second 30 minutes, and what I do in my last block of 30 minutes. I think it's really important to discipline yourself, because that's how you build skills. You don't overthink it and you get out of your way. I set my timer and I go, because it's better to have 10 less than perfect messages out than get stuck in social media land. So you want to just get in and get out. And I think your skill level will improve dramatically if you actually put time constraints. I only have these 30 minutes to message my 10 people for the day. And then I'm almost not allowed to do anymore. For me, I have to, because I find I actually get really down if I've accidentally found myself for the last 4 hours stuck talking to random people. I want to make sure I still am living my life. And this can create so much success that you almost have to, like, none of us need 100 clients this month, but it can be really addicting. So I find that if you compress it in 25 minutes, get it done, you won't get lost in social media land. Okay.
Well, hey, Lana, that'd be great for you to give us your outline. That'd be good.
Yeah, because the second 30 minutes, I'm looking for content, I'm interacting with my groups, and the last one is just responses and maybe more stories and things like that. And you still can have a life, and I think it's really important. It will keep you it will keep you focused, and you're just not going to go random like clickbait and articles and nonsense out there. You're going to be out there still feeding your social media instead of just consuming. It's easy to make that shift, so you have to be really disciplined. You have to set alarms to do so, but get in and get out. And you can still do all of your off social media things, okay? This is just one of the things that can be really, really impactful.
Okay, well, great. So there's a few questions here, and then there might be a few that pop up while I'm asking them if you guys have questions.
Okay.
So one of them is Instagram. So what do you do? So how is Instagram? They're asking how Instagram is connected to Facebook, or what do you do there? I guess
Well,
some of the people don't have Instagram.
Instagram is owned by Facebook. I don't do much on Instagram. I haven't gone there. My intention is to maybe go there or maybe TikTok. I haven't decided. I'm not there. I'm pre-contemplation. But if you're ever there and you have something cool you shared with your Instagram, you can share it straight from Instagram into your Facebook stories. So Instagram stories were so effective that Facebook kind of basically stole it and tried to be the cool old uncle or whatever you want to call it and added stories to Facebook because of how impactful they were. But
okay, so when you go on Instagram and you have an Instagram account, you're gonna share on Instagram a story or something.
Yeah,
you can it'll just go directly to Facebook.
Yeah, you can link it to where it goes directly to Facebook, so then you're not doing multiple posts. So it's a way to kill two birds with one stone. I'm not doing much on Instagram, but people do find me on Instagram, younger people, and reach out to me. A lot of times it's like the referrals of my successful clients. They will find me on Instagram. So if you have an account, I'm finding a lot of the 25 to 32 demographic, they don't even have Facebook accounts anymore. They don't go. And that's where sometimes I'll get stuff from Instagram. But if that's not your demographic, right now, that's not my focus. If I was selling my own stuff and had a company like selling courses or even gear, I'd be on Instagram. But I didn't find a way yet that I can authentically share that I made Instagram work for me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I had a question. Someone said something about okay, someone was asking about if they're retired and a grandma, would it be okay to get in a parent group? Well, she's just talking about different groups to get involved in. I would think you'd probably want to get in whatever group you think you'd be more comfortable with.
Where you can add value, what feels authentic, right, Brian? You just
authentic value.
Once again, you don't want to be weird on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you like that meme, don't be weird. So if you can go on there and mentor these moms and love on them, if you can see yourself doing that authentically and not be weird, then by all means do so. You know, if you can gain their acceptance, more power to you. But can you do that?
Okay. And one other thing, someone wanted to, and this would be a good idea, I think, if you would maybe share some of the screenshots that you have, like the exchanges that led to becoming a client or a coach.
Yeah, I have shared a couple on your Coach to Health.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw a few of those last weekend. I can.
And they can be pretty straightforward. You know, once again, we know how, you know, we all have the scripts. You don't have to deviate too much from that. If anyone wants to role play with me, I'd be happy to. So I shared a couple last week just from the previous week that I've had successes. And I would just say, if you're doing, and Honey Beth actually challenged our team to do this, and she's just so great about that, is if you're gonna do 10 messages, maybe have 2 of them, ask people to look into what you're doing. Hey, you seem like a great person. I love XYZ. I'm expanding my coaching practice right now. Would you be open to checking out what I'm doing to see if there's a possibility for both of us to work together?
Okay.
Simple. See, and it's just all you're asking is to see if they're open. You know, I feel like I resonate with you so much because of XYZ. I am currently grown and expanding my business. Would you be open to checking out what I'm doing? And maybe this could be a benefit for you or someone else you love.
See, and I love that, because it actually, you're not pushing it on them. You're just asking them a question. You're just asking them a question. Some people, I know a lot of people have said to me, like, well, I'm just not a pushy. I don't want to be a salesperson, or I don't want to do this, you know what?
You don't be.
And you don't be. And it's like what you said. It's like, you don't be weird about it. You're just like asking them if they'd be open.
Yeah.
That's very good. And some of the questioning and stuff like that, I think that people are asking about, like, what kind of questions you actually ask. Like, I know that you mentioned one of the ones that you said, would you be open to a health assessment, or to see if it's even a fit for you? I mean, I like to see if it's even a fit for you, or something like that, you know, because that it kind of lets them off the hook if they're not interested. I like starting out with that kind of questioning. And
so let me give you like 2 very common okay, one about health assessment, one about exploring coaching. And you can just play with different variations of that would sound authentic to you. But basically, when it's someone struggling with their health, like they're commenting on my healthy recipes, they're commenting on my lives, they're commenting on my before and afters. Hey, thank you for liking XYZ. How are things going with your health? And if they say, well, I've been trying to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds or whatever, my question would be, how long have you been working on that? And the reason why I like to ask that, because sometimes 6 months later, they're telling me they're like working at it. And we're like, oh, when we spoke 6 months ago, you're still working on that. Like, were you able to create any progress? And a lot of times this is when they go on a health assessment. And I like to ask this as a messenger, because some of these interactions, I've had clients I talked to a year and a half ago, and they're like, okay, they'll say, you know, whatever. Okay, finally, I give in. You must have something that works, because nothing I've been doing works. I'm ready to go back. You have a timeline, okay? They said they wanted to achieve this goal. A year later, they're not there. You can say, you know, I see you've been struggling with this goal for a year now. Would you be open to a health assessment? It's a complimentary health assessment. It's going to take about 20 minutes. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself and what you can improve in. And if one of my plans is a match, great. But if not, no big deal. You're still going to get a ton of value. Most of these people don't know that better sleep, you know, not drinking 20 cups of coffee a day, all the alcohol they're eating, all the Netflix, the water they're not drinking, that it has such an impact. Just those gold nuggets, I truly feel, and this is where you have to check at a gut level. Brian, maybe this is bold, but maybe I think you feel that, I know you feel the same way, is someone will be blessed by interaction with me, because I know with just my way of being and communicating and even just listening to them and being empathetic and giving them just 2-3 suggestions, it could be, whether they become a client or not, it's a blessing for them to have that conversation.
Well, and you're creating value for them. I mean, that's the whole point of this, is that you're doing it regardless of if they become a client or not, regardless if you become a coach or not. I think because it's all about what they want, and you're putting it back on them, and you're just asking the questions, but you are bold about it. You're like, okay, you know, would you like to explore the possibilities? And see if there's even a fit here. One of my programs may not work for you, but you'll still get value out of it either way. Yeah. So and what I love about Optavia is the fact that we have a community that people can plug into at any time. We have the Habits of Health system where they can buy the books. We don't get paid for that, but they can buy the books and they can do that. There are probably thousands of people, I would think, because of people that I know that have done this, that are using our systems in our community that are not using our products.
Exactly.
Now think about that. There is not another company that I know about there that even allows that.
Yeah.
So think about the value that we add to everybody that we come in contact with, even if they don't want our products, even if they're, and what's funny is what you just said earlier is that the timeline, like, it may not be the right timing now for them, but if you are willing to develop the relationship over time, these people are going to come back, because they're most likely not going to have the success that they would have with our program. And you're going to see that over time, and they know you're there for them. So you're developing these relationships over time, and it's going to pay. It always pays out at the end. So, but a lot of people don't give it the time. And that's what I found in 18 years of doing this, that people will for whatever reason, they quit, or they don't develop the relationships, or they don't work on themselves personally to where they can actually develop the relationships with other people. And be authentic and be real and be themselves, you know, because they are doing it, because some people do act kind of weird about things. and they go crazy and whatever, and they just like, you know, they're just being weird about it. They're not being themselves.
Yeah.
So I like what you said about that. So anyway.
Very cool. No, it's true. Be bold. You have the possibility for them to completely change everything in their life. They have so much more to gain from the interaction with you. You're a blessing. If you're truly a blessing, if you go on social media and add value, I feel like, okay, you guys might crack up and you know, but I feel like the halo effect of what I share the good stuff. And Lee and I have built an amazing life with Optavia. They're blessed to just be in our presence. Like, even if all they do is just make one healthy recipe, even if I could just interrupt their negative thought pattern and put a positive thought in their mind for the day, they are blessed to be in our world because we're Optavians and we're doing good things. So don't forget that.
And actually, sometimes I tell people, and I really do believe this, that when I talk to somebody, when I you know, give them the opportunity or give them the opportunity to become a client or a coach, that I'm doing them a dang favor.
You are, Brian.
that I'm doing them a favor. And if you have that attitude about what you do, and that you have that, it's all in your posture, everything works out. Now, it's not like you're going to get a client every time or a coach every time, but you know that you're doing the right thing, and you know that it's going to be a benefit to them. And also, for some of the people that weren't on last week, I want to let people know that Lana doing this 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week, you know, 6 days a week, right? Okay.
6 days a week.
6 days a week is giving her anywhere from, I think, what is it, 8 to 12 clients or something like that a month. So think about that, and the time that you spend and how much you would make from that, and how much, because you got to look at the hours you put in and how much you make, and then what that would do over time if you developed coaches and other people that did the same thing. And they've, like Lana said, they've grown a great business. They do very well financially, and they're helping a lot of people, and it's all a benefit to everybody that they come in contact with. So think about that, like your business, you want to do that to help other people, but you also want to create your own goals, create the things you want in your life. So anyway, thanks Lana for all this. It's gonna, hold on one second. One more question real quick. When you are reaching out to folks watching your story, what do you say?
Depending on the story, what would you say if you showed somebody something funny and they liked it or they saw it? But I usually say, hey, I just saw you checking out my story. How have you been? It's been forever since I talked to you. You know? Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like the things that you say are what you would say if you were there in person with them.
Exactly.
I think that's where it gets awkward if you don't act like if you don't say the things that you would say if they were with you. If you're just trying to make up things or it's like, okay, just ask them the questions. Anyway, so that's great.
That's a good.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lana, for being on the call today again.
All right.
And I got a lot out of it. I hope everybody else did too. So everybody else have a great, you guys have a great Saturday. Great weekend, and utilize some of these things that you're hearing today in your own journey in your Facebook, and get your stories out there. All right. Thanks, Lana. I'll see you guys. Bye.